Okay, and we're live. So welcome to TFC. This is Season 3, Episode 30, 24th of July, 2018. This one I've titled, titled, I've had a couple of beers and a barbecue, Bounty 12 preview and the weekly update. Yes, I'm by myself tonight, quickly, but Ren is on his way home. He's in a bit of a storm, so he's 5 minutes out, he said. But what I'll do is I'll make a start and we'll get going properly once he arrives and that sort of stuff. Robin's out tonight, and I think Liam is gone to visit his young lad. So, yeah, who we got in chat tonight then? So, Ford's in there. Hello, mate. How you doing? Good for a bit of moderation. And I can see plenty of other people in the chat. We'll pick up some names as we go along. Let me just share some slides quickly. There we go. We should be able to see that. No problem at all. So, yep, that's title slide. No problem there. We'll go through. So, content tonight then. So, yeah, the Bounty Season 12. 12 of them. Blimmin' heck. Yeah, Liam's washing his hair. You're probably right there. The Primus TLC. That's a quick update. Okay. Turrets of Terror TLC. Okay. Another FM update. Slight one there, but it's quite important, I think, to be honest. And then bug fixes and some tuning and maybe one or two errors, which we'll have a look at. Right. Let's go forward. So, yeah, Bounty 12. So, the aim of this one, as ever, is big players get to smash little players and steal all their bounty. Nothing changes really, to be honest, does it? Yeah, players can still protect their winnings either by manually securing it up to 5 times on day 1 and 2, obviously, or by reaching a 10k checkpoint. No problem at all. For Bounty 12, though, the drip rate is going to be 800 again this time. That's after you opt into the event. So obviously, if you don't start till Saturday, obviously you're going to miss the first bit. So, you know. It's that's the way it is, to be honest. Let's have a little look at what has changed, because some things have changed, which I'm not surprised about, to be honest, compared to Bounty 11. Right, so Bounty 12 timing starts obviously Thursday 26, so that's nice. They've gone back and it's not the Wednesday start as it was last time. I'm not sure if that was a good or a bad thing. Not really sure. Don't know. Mention in chat. What do you reckon? Think it was a good thing or a bad thing? I'm not really 100% sure on that one. I don't think it was needed, but I don't know. Anyway, and finished on the Monday. So, you know, it's just like a normal raid, really, to be honest. Although it's Bounty. Yeah. What's the difference? Well, okay. So they removed the flat value from player bases. Ta-da! Why does that not surprise me? Yeah, because that was a really good idea last time. Nice concept. Always open to abuse. And it basically got abused in, I think, in about half an hour. In fact, it got mentioned about before it even went live. So, you know, it was like, you know, don't do that. That's not a good idea. So people just moved their OP to the outside and then they had lots of fun. But yeah. Okay, but what is good news is because it's really annoying. I mean, you're hitting the over 100s and that sort of stuff, and you've got to completely kill the guard force, everything, you know, in these replica bases to get the points. Whereas if you go and hit a normal base, you don't have to do that. You just got to get the OP and then you're done, that sort of stuff. So Catch-22, I think really they should make the, well, I don't know. I think there's nothing wrong with having the guards in there, but you shouldn't have to kill everything off. As long as you get to the OP, that's it as far as I'm concerned. But yeah. Anyway, so like Bounty 10, they've gone back again for Bounty 12, and they removed the defense fleets from American bases. So it should be a little bit easier for people, a little bit. Bear in mind that certain turrets won't be in there, like obviously the new radiation turret and that sort of stuff. So it was snapshot, obviously, from the previous raid time. Right. Yeah, so like I said, then the drip rate obviously is the guaranteed 800. If you log in, that is every 6 hours. The 10 for 10 and 4 a.m. again. So, you know, it's yeah, PST time. Fortunately for me in the UK, it works quite nicely. It's sort of like just as you wake up and then just as you sort of like stack it and go to bed. So it works quite nice for us. Yeah. Not really sure 4 a.m. PST is a really good time. But, you know, if you leave it 5 minutes before and then 5 minutes after, you get the double hit 1600. So you time it right, it's not too bad. What else have we got then? Yeah, like I said, so they dropped it down. Obviously, you've lost a day this time compared to last time. So you got 5 daily charges, obviously. Then it goes into 4. Day 3 is 4, and then day 4 it goes down to 3. So that's the chance is to lock yourself away. Okay, you get to if you don't make the 10k and that sort of stuff, and you think you got to 7k, and someone's about to hit your base, you know, which is interesting because obviously then you can bank, and if they're in the middle of hitting, then they get to bank as well. So it's a win-win for everybody, to be honest. Or it has been up to now. Let's hope that's. Let's just hope that's the way that sort of like continues, because it's a definite win-win. But yeah, so you can do that up to 5 times. Obviously, it automatically banks for you. Once you get to 10k and that sort of stuff, you haven't got to worry about it. So, but holding 10k unsecured particularly on day 1 and 2 is not so easy because everyone's hunting for bounty. But anyway, there we go. So that's it. A 5, 2 4s, and the 3. Right. Like I said, replica bases, guard fleets are removed, which is good news. It's a copy of the last season, so let's see what's changed. We should see some interesting shapes this time because a lot of people's bases have changed design. So, yeah. Basically, we're going to go in and hit bases that have got a lot of turrets that can't defend against the ships we've got at the moment. So, everyone's going to be racing out with a couple of fleets, I think, to be honest. Should be interesting. But then again, there's a lot more prizes. We'll talk about prizes a bit. Yeah, dock auto repair. Bear that in mind again. Okay, that caught a few people out last time, and it's been happening now in the real game as well because it's through everything. So just note that your dock, the very second you get hit, as does your OP, for some reason in bounty, it just starts auto repairing. So there we go. Mark, are you alone? No, I should. Well, I don't think I'm alone totally. A friend said he was going to be here in a minute, mate, but he's got stuck in a little bit of traffic. I'll just double check and see how he's getting on, to be honest. Oh, he's just sent me a picture. It's a huge storm he's in, to be honest. But we'll get there. Ah, dear. He'll be here in a minute. Just going for the previous slides anyway. Right. Yeah. Anyway, so just bear in mind then that the dock auto repairs, and like I said, you get that 4-hour window basically. So, your dock repairs in 2, you don't come back online. You forgot to stack away your bounty. They take 50% to start with. They go back in 4 hours later. Everything else is still sort of like fixing, but your dock's up and running, So straight away they go straight in there. You've got no guard fleet there, so, and they 100% you no time at all. So even if you log off and you're 100% flat, your dock's going to fix. So even that doesn't work. And then they're going to steal off half your stuff. So it's not too easy, to be honest, to keep hold of things. Hello, Ren. How you doing, mate?
How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. How was the drive? Are you dump?
Man, it started well, but there was this massive summer storm, and all of a sudden, I couldn't see, 30 meters ahead of me. I had to slow down big time.
Yeah, the photograph you sent was interesting. I was like, "That man, that looks horrendous."
Yeah, there's literally a river coming through my street here right now.
At least you're upstairs.
Yeah, I'm in, and I have internet and power, so it's all good.
We're good. So we're just in the preliminary slides for Bounty, mate. I've got up to the fact that obviously I've stated that obviously for Bounty 12, they've gone back. There's no flat rate for hitting people's base anymore. They've got rid of that, so no point moving your OPs around. And they've closed the loophole, which was a bit of a foolish one, to be honest. And they've removed obviously the replica bases. The guard fleets have come out again, same as it was for Bounty 10. So
yeah, no guards in the replicas is pretty good.
Yeah, it'll be some quick points getting, I think, to be honest, this time. So everyone will be hit up in the hundreds this time, I reckon, personally. But we'll see how it goes. Right. Yeah. Next information, no change, to be honest. Set 1 starts on the 26th, obviously, at the start of the event. Goes through from 10 a.m., obviously, till 3 p.m. on the 27th. That's set 1. And then, obviously, set 2 is obviously 5 p.m. on the Friday, right through to the end of the session. Clearly, obviously, you've got to be in it to win it, sort of stuff, so, and don't change your faction halfway through and that sort of stuff. Sorry, your alliance halfway through.
Yeah, I think you got to have your alliance all set before bounty starts, right?
Yeah, people opted out last time. They made a big mistake because they lost all the bounty, or they didn't get any bounty, basically. So, yeah, unfortunate, but there we go. So don't switch or join the alliance beforehand, because people were saying, oh, yeah, come and join our alliance and get all the bounty points, and it didn't work, basically. So.
Oh, if they do it now, it's okay. They got to do it a few days before, right?
Yeah, very much so. Yeah. Well, I'd take it before they opt into bounty, I can imagine. I don't know. Something else ought to try us, I suppose. But once you're in to stay with that alliance, so you can't do it halfway through and jump from one to another because someone's lost the nexus. It doesn't work.
No, yeah, it's not even when you opt into bounty. It's when bounty starts. The moment bounty starts, right. If you switch alliances at that point, you're not getting it.
Oh, right. Okay. Jeff's in chat. Hello, mate. Good evening. Righty-ho then. So we're on to prizes. So it's a perfect time for you to turn up then, because this beast, the curator.
It looks like a tick.
It does look like a tick as well. Now, bear in mind, this thing, obviously, it says Legion. All right, then. The Legion are a little bit boring, but I think they try to give a bit of a flair of a little bit of Reaver flair, because obviously when we look at the item that goes on it in a minute, which is Reaver, which is unusual, building one thing that's one faction and then another thing to go on it, which is a complete different faction. But not that it just goes on this hull, but yeah.
Yeah, but I like the ballistic damage. Did you see the ballistic range on that? Plus 70%.
Yeah, it's huge, isn't it?
Yeah, so you get a special with 50, you're at plus 120%. The cannons that are like 50 range, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, so that's one of the things. I mean, and this thing here, fixed time, is one thing they flagged up, and I noticed as well. So the normal regular fixed time is 30 minutes. Bear in mind you've got to add other things to it as well. But the regular fixed time is 30 minutes. This one, then the half slot is obviously going to be 15 minutes.
Yeah, and people, like a lot of people were using Conquerors to defend their bases just because it repairs a lot faster. And I think Kixeye kind of caught up to that. And instead of raising the repair on Conquerors, which would be the normal bad behavior of theirs, right? This time they said, you know what, let's reduce the repair on the defenders. So there's, at least that's not the reason people will choose Conquerors to defend.
Yeah. I mean, so this is a bit versatile, this thing, to be honest. It's got a good weight category. You've got thrower range built in of 13% straight away, which is nice. Ballistic, like you said, range of 50%. Reload is up to 50%. Radioactive reload is up to 50% already. And launcher range, of all things, is up by 17%, which I thought was quite interesting.
Yep.
So there's quite a few options.
Pretty much, I think it all works out to a range of about the 10, right? 110. I mean, the cannon with 120%, when you put the special in, you get 110 range. The thrower and the launcher, I got to do the math, but a launcher is still, like, I think it's 98 range, right?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
So you times 117, 114 point something. So you can get a 114. And I'm not counting any specials that could extend that range further.
Yeah, and there are a couple of that can add straight a bit of extra thrower range as well. So 20% I think you can gain on top of that. So yeah, it's not bad. It's a good little hull. It's another one of those static defenders. They're really going for these static defenders, though. I mean, everyone in the hierarchical PvP world always complains about people driving their ships. Well,
NASCAR.
Soon you're not going to have a chance anyway, because nothing's going to move.
Unless people keep using Conquerors, right, to defend.
Well, yeah, I suppose so. But,
yeah, it's an option, right?
It is, mate. 8 weapon slots, which is nice. 3 armor slots, but then again, it's got a huge amount of armor built in already. Ballistic and radioactive deflections is huge. So, yeah, it could be a lot worse.
Yeah. The weapon slots is an advantage over the Warden, because the Warden has only 6, right?
Yeah, it's annoying, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, very underpowered. It's a lot of armor for very little firepower. This guy with 8 is a lot better.
Very good for spotting and then tanking the mother out of them, or you're busting your sloths, though.
Yeah, I mean, if you have Wardens with remote range, like missile slots, mortar slots, and this guy could be your spotter.
Yeah, very much so, yeah. Yeah, it does. So the only thing I think you can outrange this with that's likely to come in, obviously, is an MSC with obviously the pen scope on it and that sort of stuff, because that's got a bit further range. But
maybe,
that, there's nothing else, though. I don't think anything else that's going to outrange this thing at the moment.
Yeah, no, so because it was like even the cannon at 110, but I think there's a new special we'll talk in a bit, is the ballistic scope. That's even more range on the cannon, so it's going to go beyond 110. The launchers are at 115, plus specials you can get past 120, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, there's no special, nothing particularly special about this hull. It's not a flagship or anything like that. It's a standard one, okay? And so obviously there is a flagship for the High Guard Warden and that sort of stuff. So this will go in any slot. So
and we're only getting 2 of them, right?
Yeah,
40,000 points, 2 curators.
Yeah, 1 claim, 40k. Yeah. So yeah, you can still keep your High Guard up there as well. So yeah. It's okay.
Do we have any information about the build time? Because I couldn't see that.
Yes, I got 5 days and something like 17 hours.
Okay. So probably without the bonuses is about 6 days.
Yeah, probably about that, yeah. If you've got no friends, you're not on Facebook, that sort of stuff, like Robin, then obviously, yeah, it adds a little bit. But R&D 31 with a friend on Facebook, I think it was, something along 5 days, 17 hours, or thereabouts anyway. So not horrendous. But you'll see in a bit, there's some tokens and stuff in different places anyway, so which is good. Right, what else we got then? This random thing here. So this is that TAC mod that's come out. It's Reaver. It obviously triggers an overload, so obviously as you take damage, it does obviously the shock effect and that sort of stuff. Weighs 500 tons, has a crazy berserk of 1 second. a massive splash, and a range of 120. So it'll, from the center of the hole, if it's taking damage, it's going to damage anything that's hitting you. It's going to have a range, and the aura is going to affect it.
Yeah, but what I really like is the stun time.
There's 12 and buildings as well.
Yep. So defenders, if you're using that on an attacker, like you're going to come in and you're taking fire and you're moving around and you take a certain amount of damage and boom, you get a 12-second stun. So of course it can be mitigated with Agility System 4 and stuff like that, but you can reduce the stun time by 70%. So in the end, that 12 seconds goes down to like 2-3 seconds, right? But still,
it's a good distance though in 2 or 3 seconds. At 70 combat speed, that's still quite a distance.
Yep. And as a defender, it's also interesting. I mean, if you put that on the tick, what's the new hold name? Curator? I'm just going to call it the tick because it looks like a tick.
Yeah, it adds the
shit. Put that on the tick, and attackers who try to drive by it and damaging it in the meantime, you can just boom and EMP them for a few seconds.
Yeah, I can see it in attack as well as defense. There are some definite areas that I think it'll do a good thing. But I like the fact that the range is good. It's 120, so it outscopes most attacking ships that's in there. So yeah, quite like that. And like I say, you've said, it stuns buildings as well as ships, so that's quite handy. Right, what have we got next? Oh yeah, this random countermeasure. This is unusual. So,
this is unique, brand new, completely different.
So it counters. I mean, bear in mind we've already got obviously the one for the that came with the high guard sort of stuff. That's got ballistic and it's got explosive and penetrative protection on it as well. So this thing is the other one. So this is the one that does cannons, launchers, and throwers.
We never, ever in the game had any countermeasure to counter cannon, launcher, and throwers. That's brand new.
So I was expecting this thing here to have like a splash effect, and then like incoming turrets, so obviously if something comes in, then obviously the splash would take it out. I can't see how this is going to work for throwers because they're splash damage items.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's accuracy based. It's going to fire against like an incoming thrower blast and neutralize that somehow. Mechanically, it's an impossible thing, but you can do whatever you want in a pixel game, right?
And it kicks like it.
This pixel cancels the other pixel, whatever.
Yeah,
but reality is just like in the game. For the first time now, you can counter throwers and launchers and cannons. Boom.
Yeah. So with the 2 different countermeasures on one ship now, you can counter. You've got 52 or 54 is the other one, probably about the same limits. But so you've got explosive, you've got ballistic, you've got radioactive, and you've got penetrative protection. For each one
I think the only things now that cannot be countermeasure after this will be corrosive and concussive.
Yeah, I think you're probably right there, to be honest. I just don't see how you can, with an accuracy-based weapon, you can counter a thrower, which is a range area of effect weapon. It's a bit unusual, to be honest.
No, you're probably going to just cancel the projectile coming at you. I mean, whatever.
But range is only 75. So, obviously we can add to that. I get that. Reload 12. Reload's not fast, though, 12. We can bring that down half.
But there's a salvo 15, so it's kind of okay to counter throwers. Although you put a bunch of throwers on a ship and, they each one of them have a bunch of salvos. I can easily see 5-6 throwers on a ship overcoming 2-3 of these countermeasures.
Yeah, well, there's something to go with it, isn't there? So we've got this thing as well, which is the reloader. So straight away, look. The countermeasure reload is 85%,
which is huge, right? So you get go back one page.
Yeah. So if you think about it, it's 12 seconds, and then you rank the damn thing up. So
it divides by 4, then it's now just 3 seconds,
and then you go by 85% again.
Yeah. So it cuts down to what is 15%? 0.3, 0.4 seconds in the end.
Yeah, so it's going to be pretty rapid, isn't it? And there's no wind down time for it, is there? Like some.
Yeah. You can make it fire non-stop, I think. Close to non-stop. That's what I mean.
Yeah. So I quite like this reloader. It's quite decent, but it is only for radioactive and ballistic, so it is fixed.
To me, that's the whole curator combo, right? You can build a curator. You put your favorite cannon or launcher or thrower on it. Then you put a few of these countermeasures. Then you put that special that's going to have both the countermeasure and the cannons or launchers or throwers, right? just gotta see what's compatible with what, because there are some other specials helping cannon, thrower, launcher reload, and you gotta see what goes with what.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, it's not blatantly obvious, but it certainly makes that 12 a bit of a joke once you start putting, like say, rank on it, and then put this one as well. So,
and just in case anyone is like thinking about it, oh, if I don't get the curator, is it worth getting these guys? Here's a quick idea: the Ifrit, right? If you want to build an Ifrit, you can put it even to attack a base or to defend a base. You can put that on an Ifrit, and it's going to help you with thrower reload. 45%. You can put some countermeasures. You know, it's a good mix.
Yeah.
Because the Ifrit doesn't have any like ballistic. I don't think it has any ballistic deflection, and the countermeasure adds ballistic deflection.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it is pretty decent. I mean, radioactive reload there is a nice thing to have, and you know, your throwers. There aren't many reload sort of like ideas that you can get that will boost this. I'm seeing how this one's going to stack. I haven't seen it yet in the actual shipyard, so let's see what other sort of reload buffs that it'll stack with as well, because that's always a bit of a sticking point. But so far, so good. There's no count load. There's just reload. There's no range buff, but there is definitely reload, which is nice to see. Okay, so a little about the previous one that we've had with explosive force. This is ballistic force. I'm not really sure personally if I'm going to go with a cannon ship, I'm going to reduce my range, because obviously you're going to take more damage. So the reduction of range is only 9. You know, great, but I suppose on this defender ship it'd be quite decent because you've got a boost of your ballistic range already.
I wouldn't, because honestly, if you're a defender, can you name one cannon that you mount on a ship that's going to do more than pass through?
Nah, nothing. There isn't anything.
So in PvP, as it stands, that special is completely useless. Unless you can say, oh, I'm going to put that on an attacker to take down turrets faster. Okay, that works. But you're not going to take the defenders any faster because you're doing pass-through or over damage only. You're not going to take an attacker any faster for the same reason. So the only benefit you get from putting that special on, you're going to destroy turrets and buildings faster at the expense of like a shorter range.
Yeah, I mean there are some cruisers out there that are driving around quite fast, you know, and you know I had a BPL guy come and visited my guard. Literally, you know, I mean he used decent range and got good ideas, but this is, you know, just the pure damage. But like I say, the prepping ships, obviously they only want to damage your ships. They don't want to damage all the turrets around you and that sort of stuff. So yeah, interesting. This is obviously, I'm not really sure. I've not used the explosive one, to be honest. I've seen some people use it on their sloths because obviously the range is huge and that sort of stuff anyway. So particularly on the bus, you know, because the range is massive on that. So I don't mind putting the explosive force on that one. But yeah, I don't know. Anything that reduces your range, I'm never very keen on, because I don't like blitzing stuff too much in PvP because it just costs you a lot of money to fix things. So yeah, but it's there. You know, it's the next one in the series. So weapon weight is only 15. So yeah, and the 9% minus is exactly the same as the other ones. Right, this one's interesting though. Cold Snap 2.
Yep.
Yeah, and damage is as huge as we'd expect to. Submerged damage, well, we haven't really got much that actually drives around submerged anymore, have we, to be honest, because no one seems to get anywhere with subs these days.
Yeah, I think the damage it does, it's pretty much useless. Well, the cool thing is the range at 191 and the cold snap effect.
And the fact that it's in the duplicate aura bonus cap of 8. So there's 2, you know, you can get 2 of these, I think it is. And obviously that's 2 more of the, you know, to try and get those other turrets up.
That goes along with that, the chubby mortar.
Yeah.
They get the chubby mortar and this guy, and now they start buffing each other.
So that's 4 items now we've got. So
yeah,
on the explosive side. So.
But the coolest thing really is the cold snap, destroying any aura. So guys coming in with the tactical insulator or even the new EMP special, that turret hits them, it disables those auras. Because I don't think that EMP special, I don't think it says cold snap immune. Can you go back 3-4 pages just to check that one line?
EMP.
Where's that Reaver EMP thing?
Here it is. Yes.
Yeah, that one. See, it's not cold snap immune.
Doesn't mention it. No, it doesn't.
That means it's not. So, you know, if it tries to EMP you, that turret would help, right?
Yeah, definitely will. Yeah. Yeah, nice range, as you said there, 191. Obviously, you can put a 10% buff on that as well, or a 10 buff on that as well. So you're getting up to 200. That's obviously much better than the original Cold Snap. Like I said, the aura cap there, that's going to go up to 4 now. So that's 4 items you've got. And the thing is, there's some tokens, I think, coming, some build tokens for this one.
Yeah, the tokens are really cheap to build that turret. I think they're like 1,700 points or 2,400 points. You can get tokens to build the turret right away.
If you keep your Cold Snap in, then you may as well just replace it anyway, because you're going to be able to do it almost for free.
Even the Glacial, I'm thinking, I still have a Glacial on my base. I might replace that Glacial with this one.
Well, that's true, yeah. Yeah, that's an even better idea, because I think I've got rid of my Cold Snap.
Because the oldest turret I still have on my base is the Glacial.
It took so long to build.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so there we go. So that's the next one. So you give 2 of those if you wanted. And there are turrets, turret tokens to help you build them as well. Additional prizes, right? So there's an extra actually price range this time in this bounty as well. There's a 7,500. We didn't have that last time. So there's a this one here, the 1,700. You know, yeah, if you really want to, then obviously the King's Writ, that the gun. The good thing about the gun is its range, isn't it? Apart from that.
For very low level players, I mean, this is a pretty cool Conqueror to start with. The King's Writ used to be a beast on its time, very hard to take down. You know, like you're not going to hit high level bases with that, but you can hit low level bases with that. Especially with the armors we have in FM, I mean, some of them will help.
If you want to use it just for whipping around the outside of the base, it's extremely fast as well. Its combat speed can get up to 100 and something. It's crazy. So you can get this thing to drive at some nut speeds as well. But yeah, so, and if you haven't got vulcanizer barrels, well, most people probably have by now, but it's there. So it's another little special you can tick off your special box. Yeah, a couple of structure build tokens if you want them as well. So just bear them in mind if you're doing turrets and stuff like that. Well, this one here is quite large this time, much bigger than last time. So 2,400 prize list. Howitzer cannons are in there, build tokens, that is. Obviously, Cold Snap build tokens, there you go. So 7 days worth of Cold Snap build tokens, and you can get 5 each time.
Yep.
So, blimey, that's not bad, is it? And the Executioner 2 ones as well.
Now, that cannon, the Siege Cannon D35V, isn't that the one that came recently out?
Yep. So it's moved down 2 classes now. It's down into 2,400.
I don't know why it says MSC special next to it.
Oh, that's just probably my bad. I probably just typed it in.
Yeah, but that cannon, that one gives a lot of radioactive deflection, and you know, like against the new turret, or people may need that, the new defender.
Yeah, definitely at the moment with the thrower that's in there at the moment, people are chucking a lot of the throwers on their wardens and stuff like that, just to annoy people, because it's got quite a lot of damage. But yeah, no, I agree. So there's quite a big list in there, and I like the fact there's tons of build tokens there for getting people's bases up to speed. So 7 days each time and 5, so 35 days each time straight away. So it's nice to have. Bear in mind, strip them off in parts and then use base parts as well. We'll talk about base parts in a minute. Something's obviously changed today. So here we go. This is a 5K lot. The impact cruiser's in there again. The thrower, obviously, from last, which is the main weapon.
The Ifrit thrower.
Yeah, main prize.
That thrower can go well on the new the curator. The new
I think so. Yeah. Well, just the fact it's got so much radioactive boost on, isn't it? So yeah, explosive scopes in there. That's a handy thing to have as well. Field extinguisher 1.
Yeah, I don't have that special. that's one I want to get caught up.
It's a really good one. Yeah, I have to say I've used it a bit as well. Like I said, field extinguisher is very good as well. I quite like that. I've got that on one of my ships, and it definitely helps a lot. So yeah, there's a couple of items in there, and don't knock the impact cruiser. You know, I've seen some really good builds that people using for a prepping ship and in defense as well. So it definitely has its uses. It's a strong little ship if you built it for certain things. So this is the unusual one, the 7,500 price bracket. We're not seeing that last time. So,
yeah, but we see a lot of the one ballistic and a few penetrating turrets for people who need to complete the set of 8 to maximize the group bonus. There's your chance.
Yeah, because it was straight to 10,000 last time, so they've chucked this extra one in.
Yep.
So yeah, you notice that some of the limits have gone up as well. So the Vulture's gone up to 4. It was 2 before, I think it was.
I just think people gotta be careful, right? Remembering you only need 8. Having more than 8 of a type gives you no extra bonuses, so you're pretty much wasting a turret slot. Unless you're, of course, like you're a lower level player, or you're behind on tech and you don't have decent turrets and you want to have a whole bunch of the same type, go for it. But, you know, be prepared to refit in the future.
And that's the other thing, is obviously you can only choose one faction as well. So you may as well just stack up in one. I'm not saying all go for one area and that sort of stuff, but you're not going to be able to get that massive, you know, bonus as well by obviously choosing the right faction and then choosing 8 of one type. And if you then get 8 of another type, particularly if you go into like penetration, that sort of stuff, you know, the penetrative ones, then, you know, they're pretty weak anyway in general terms. So even having the faction switched over, I like ballistic myself, but yeah, don't know. Anyway, but they're there. So, you know, you've got EMP overload. Look, is there. That's that new item. You can claim 3 of those. All right. So just note that you can have 3. All right. So what was the original TAC mod we had? Was it not come back when the MSC came out?
The tactical insulator?
Yeah. We could do some more of those. People must be running out by now.
Yeah, they're not there. I mean, maybe they're going to be on the next raid. The
was the onslaught, wasn't it? Yeah. It's just frustrating. We haven't got some more of those. We could do with more than 5. 5's just.
But I think we have the one that cancels fire fuels this time. I don't have that one either. I want to get that.
Yeah, it is good. Like I said, I've got it on a couple of my ships, so definitely works. Yeah, and the take-home bracket, obviously, you know, the Ifrit's in there as well, and like I said, you know, the new countermeasures is in there as well, and the loader and that sort of stuff. So ballistic force is in there, as we mentioned about that, obviously, which is a reduction in you know, reduction in range, but obviously increase in output. And there's the cold snap rocket as well. So 20 will get you both of those if you so wish. Right, yeah, on to Turrets of Terror. So this is the TLC. We've had it before. Legendary Icebreakers, they're saying, is the right thing for this. Is that right?
Yeah, I just did give a bump on the video I had about this campaign. It's not hard. Icebreakers will certainly do it. And last time we could also use Inferno Dragons and do it like for 4 minutes of damage, like negligible.
So just bear in mind about your structure tokens, because you can't stack too many. But use them wisely as well. If you can get the points in bounty, then don't worry about it. Because look, you know, right at the early stage there was 2 for 1,700, and then here you go again. Look, there's structure tokens 2 in prize pack 3. You know, there's you know, I wouldn't worry about cat mortars too much, but they are annoying and they do knock off people's sloths as well. So don't.
I think this is just for mid-level players. I mean, no high-level player needs any of that, but the mid-level guys, you know, the Epic Cat, the Glacial, the Adder Strike. If you're gonna be able to keep like Boulder Fists and what's the sloths and stuff from before, it helps, right?
Yeah, definitely. It's nice the fact there's
too frustrating. I mean, none of that will keep the newer ships out.
Yeah, no, agreed. The fact that obviously the targets have changed, obviously for base parts as of today, for permanently. Then some people may who still aren't ready for this transition to the Legion stuff from the previous raid, you know, or don't like the damage. Then actually, this is probably going to get you, you know, more build tokens for turrets anyway, or structure. Sorry. Then
this is bounty. You know, both get you like some turret builds, some structure tokens, plus what you get in FM. If you're not getting base parts, there are other ways. All you got to do is spend time playing the game.
Yeah, which is what they want you to do. Just take your time. And then obviously this one here, the Primus. So this is interesting. So in fact, going back to the previous one there, please note that obviously it's OP5 and above, which I suppose if you're below OP5, you probably wouldn't be doing any of this stuff anyway. So OP5, if you've got Icebreakers, which a lot of people got for free, to be honest, if you've been taking part and then you had a pause in the game, you know, to go out and get Epic Cat Mortar of an OP5, I'd be quite interested you build that, to be honest, because you have to have quite a good level turret to get it on. So
yeah, you probably won't have the right turret level to get that.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if you did. And the Adder, because they're both quite heavy, to be honest. But nice specials, loads of splash and a glacial turret to go with it as well. So, you know, your OP cannon, I mean, if you really want to put that pyro rocket crazy thing on, then fill your boots. It certainly spits out a lot of stuff, doesn't do anything, but spits out a lot of mess anyway. Yeah, sorry, going back to the Primus. So, you know, there are things in there, but the only thing I'm going to do this for is the Proto, since I finish off my 5th one now. So it's quite nice. I'll definitely do. I'm not really worried about doing prize pack 4 because I've got enough of that stuff, but at least you've got some Process Centurion build tokens there, so which is nice. So 4 in total, so that's 4 days worth, and they're rare at the moment though. So Process Centurion tokens. It says there this one's you know, it's obviously Siege, you know, T6 and above, so Buccaneers, Siege Hydras, and it says particularly in the main release notes, it says Process Centurions will do exceedingly well in this one. But I'd like to think so, because actually it's to get you Proto-Centurion tokens. So it's a bit of a...
right. I mean, if you have the fleet to get tokens, you build the fleet.
Why are you doing it? Yeah. Duh.
Duh.
I did snicker. Yeah. So Proto-Centurions are apparently doing really well in this one. So yeah. Well, it is what it is. So Missile Defense System 2 is in there, which is on a par, just slightly below, obviously, Phalanx 4. Not as good as...
But I think it's just some range, right? Same accuracy. It's pretty good.
Super light.
It's lighter than Phalanx 4. Pretty good.
Much better than Phalanx 3. Much better. There's no comparison, to be honest. So for the weight, it's a very good. And I've used a couple of these, and to be honest, I didn't know it's a huge difference from Phalanx 4. Although when you use the Missile Defense System 3, there is a massive difference. It is definitely better by a lot. Very good, like you said, for your as you did, you put it on your flagship, didn't you, for your Greta? And I put a couple on one as well. So
yeah, I put a 3 on my Greta.
Yeah,
a couple of 3s. Yeah. Those are top notch.
Yeah, I like them as well. Anyway, so that's the 2 TLCs. Nothing really interesting in them, and nothing.
Do we have a slide on that layered armor?
I was going to go actually and go into the game and then have a look at that, because there's some adjustments, hasn't there?
Yeah, sneaky, quiet changes where that layered armor that is limited and the other guys that are limited all of a sudden gained retrofit level 15. And
massive retro. Yeah, they've got retrofitted, and they weren't before. They were always 66%, and we slated them, and now all of a sudden they're up to 80. Well, just like the layered armor.
They match the ablative armor, the reactive armor at R15, so they're all at 81.7%, and I didn't see that announced anywhere.
No, definitely not. I didn't even make. And now it's definitely worth it.
So, yeah, hell yeah.
So it's on 2 of them, but not the 3rd one, I noticed. We'll have a look at the game. I'll load the game up in a minute. And
I have the game open here.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll share your screen in a minute. We'll get to the end of this, and we'll share your screen and have a look at the difference, because I think 2 of them are retrofit 15, and one of them's not showing retrofit, if I remember rightly. Which is
the corrosive, because there's no retrofit.
Because there is no one. Yeah.
So let me.
So what's the weight between RA3? So ablative armor, say, because obviously that's what everyone wants to put on there. Obviously their FM fleet, and then compare that to obviously the explosive one with this.
Can you see my screen now?
Yeah, let me just I'll just plop yours up. Hang on, here we go. Yeah, I've got it.
Okay, so I was just playing right to the new Defender. Like where is it? Curator. It's just said 5 days, 17 hours, 120,000 titanium. But to your point, so let's look at the specials, right? I mean, they don't make sense on a Conqueror or Defender, but just to look at the numbers. So AA3, 81.7%, and you gain 15% on armor weight.
15, right? Okay.
Same thing, 18.1, you gain 15%. You go to the limited guys now, right? Layer, it's 12%, so you save some weight. You gain 100 ship and structure deflection, and the same 81%.
There's no reason not to do it now, is there?
Exactly. So now they are better than the regular counterparts. Yeah. The same with the reinforced ablative armor.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, well that's
the one that wasn't affected. You mentioned, where is it? So the reactives there,
just the layers
there. So these 3, ablative, layered, reactive, they're all at 81.7%. The corrosives, chromium. That's corrosive defense. Yeah, this one isn't. Yeah.
Even though it says rank 15, it's not.
Yeah, this one doesn't make sense, I guess, because there's no rank on there's no regular corrosive panel special, is there?
No.
There's only the regular, the one that's mixed up, like pan and corrosive.
But that brings those specials back into line now. I know they're limited, but anything that will get you, like I said, it's always the last 1% that's worth having. If you're at 99% and you're at 98%, 99 to 99, 8 to 9, that 1% is huge. Yeah. It makes a massive difference. Anyway, that's good. I'm impressed with that. That's a good change. In fact, while you're on there, Ren, just double check the new weapon, the countermeasure. What's the build time for that? I think it was.
So we're 5 days, 17 hours.
I think it was like 17 hours or something like that. Or so what I worked out.
Countermeasure.
That's it, yeah.
There's one. Yeah, 6:17. That means 7 hours more plus 7:14, 15 hours.
15 hours.
I have
Yeah.
officer, I have R&D, so it's about 15 hours for me.
Mm-hmm. And then what about the special? We take that weapon off. What's the special?
Well, there are two new specials, right? So there is the new countermeasure special, the CMCR reloader.
Yeah. That one there particularly was the one, obviously, because the other one I'm not really interested
in. 7 plus 3, 10 hours and change.
10 hours roughly, yeah.
11 hours.
Yeah. That's not
and if people are going to build that ballistic scope, ballistic force, pardon, that's the same, about 10 hours.
Same again, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's just playing with things here, right? I mean, one option, we could go and just do chain guns if you wanted like multiple types of damage. Because this guy is going to have a massive gain on...
and then up with reloads and that stuff. Yeah,
Yep.
It always works there, yeah.
Here you go. Right, 100, where is it? Ballistic range.
Yeah, you've got 120%.
Yeah, 120%, yeah, over 50. So it's 110 range. And there's no reason to use the other cannon because you already have good radioactive deflection. So you're not.
And chuck a thrower on there, mate, because I think you can get, with a couple of specials, I think you can get some pretty decent thrower.
Oh, yeah. I mean, let me get throwers. I'm just going to get the wildfire. Could be any of the other guys at the
I like that because it's raw damage. There's no point having, certain specials on there because it's just a raw damage weapon. I like it, I must admit.
Yeah, like, all these guys have salve of 20. Maybe you want to look at the Radon Slinger because it's multi-shot and reloads faster. So if you want to get shots, right, this guy will give you a lot of shots to do minimum damage. But this one has the over damage of 636, so might be damage,
yeah.
So if we go throwers instead, then you got to make a choice, right? Because either you can have the Polonium Accelerator,
which is a range of 12%, yeah.
Yeah, so you gain range here.
All that new special, yeah.
Or you can have the special that came out with the Ifrit, this guy, radioactive ignition.
And so there's no range on that, is there?
There's no range and there's extra damage, which again, against attacking ships, doesn't make any sense because you're going to just be doing over damage. So all you care about is reload and splash.
Yeah, true.
So I would go with the good old Polonium Accelerator.
Yeah, I think so too. That range boost is helpful.
Yeah. Then where are we? Thrower range 25%.
On top of the 98.
On top of 88.
Sorry, 88, yeah. So yeah. It's all good. Well, it's not all good, but gives you options. It's another static defender though. That's just, soon there's going to be no more crying anymore with NASCAR drivers because.
Yeah, and guess what? That gets you to 110 range. So you can get 110 with cannons, 110 with throwers, right?
Tell me the ranges are correct out the box for a change. There's no adjustments.
Yeah. No, that's 110. Probably at some point they're going to release some radioactive scope, and then you can get a few more points in range.
But limiting power and that sort of stuff,
Yeah. But doesn't affect the over damage, right?
No.
You lose damage, but doesn't touch the over damage.
It's over damage is what we work off, isn't it, for these? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so probably here you need some pen, explosive, concussive, deflection that we don't have.
Yeah, we can work on that.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. We'll go back to slides.
Oh, one thing. Sorry. Let me clear. There's the tactical mode.
Yeah.
I can find
the day. I think
build time on that guy. Where is it? EMP overload. So from 5 hours 17 goes up to 6:13. So it's 19 hours to build that.
Yeah, just under a day. I got that. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is not horrendous.
Oh, I mean, how many of these ships are you going to build? 1 or 2, right?
Well, you can only have 2, can't you? So. Yeah, 1 or 2, and like I say, you're going to keep your flagship in there anyway, aren't you? So you don't want any more than that. You want some onslaughts or something like that. So good, right? Okay. So anyway, it's nice to see that those layered armors have actually had that little buff done to them.
They should have announced that somewhere.
It's just not said anywhere. So whether they meant to in the first instance and just didn't, I don't really know. I'm not sure. But
yeah, that's probably something someone changed and nobody told Rampage about it, and Rampage didn't tell us. But yeah, we're smart.
Right. So talk about this FM update. So there's 2 updates, and it's right. So these are both prize pool 5 items, okay, and they're not cheap either.
No.
So I hope, if you've already got one of these items here and you want to go and get the token at the top, well, you haven't got all of them anyway. But these things here are not cheap. And if the FM for someone lower wants to just get on and get the build tokens, that sort of stuff, and they've got to go and get like the Greta flagship, which is like 8 million points. 8 million points in the FM is an awful lot of grinding when you can't do the top level targets. If that's 111s, that's a ridiculous amount. So I'm hoping they're going to release something else in the tier 5, like a Gale 3 or something.
Yeah, right. Because tier 4 is easy. Yeah, tier 4 is easy. You have that Hyper 10 and charged armor. Yeah. So there's always something cheap to redeem to get to the chest. I don't know. Price pool 5, I'm looking at my FM right now, which ends today, right? I have everything in tier 5. So unless they put something there to redeem that's cheaper, we're going to be stuck with these very expensive prices to get to the chest, and that's not going to be fun.
Nope. Exactly, that's going to infuriate a lot of people.
That's not players first.
It isn't. I think they think it is in some ways, but it's not in the concept of the low-level player who's grinding his arse off, and the many 111s he still can at the moment. With that fleet that they only offered it last month, the Icebreaker fleet and that sort of stuff. They were selling that big style, last month, and someone that's only had it for like 3 or 4 FMs, all of a sudden, you're telling me he's now got to go and grind, 8 million points at 150, K a time. It's a lot of grinding. So, yeah.
Yeah. Now I'm not going to say low levels because low levels don't get tier 5, but the mid levels who are catching up, those guys they grind their asses off to get to tier 5, right?
Yeah. Sure. What levels? And but the mid, I don't know if level is the right name nowadays because base level doesn't mean a great deal. But I know what you mean. Middle ability. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all tech level, right? The low tech level guys, they're not doing tier 5, but the mid tech level guys are grinding to tier 5, and having to clear, how much is it? 9 million FM points.
Yeah.
When all you can do is the 80 something target that pays like 100K, 80K, whatever. It's mission impossible, right?
So this Vanguard's in there, the Poseidon's one. Yeah, okay, fantastic. It's a conqueror, and it's there, and take it if you want it, and that sort of stuff. It affects impact cruisers in the fleet and Ifrits as well, and fantastic. No, so this is a nice little thing to have and play with it if you want to. I have no issue with this being there. It's an odd thing to put in there, but it's there.
Oh, totally odd. I mean, it's purely PvP. It's not only PvP, it's advanced PvP, a flagship.
What's it doing in the FM? I don't
exactly. Get it. I'm like, what?
Yeah. More is the point. And I can, whether enough
that
people
should be in a raid or in a raid locked store where only the top people get to that. Because if you're not at that level, you're not building Coker flagships, I don't think.
Yeah, you don't need it, I have to say.
Because I got 0 use out of my Poseidon Mauler, which was the previous flagship. 0 use.
I tried it. I didn't like it. So
yeah,
I parked it. I parked it and left it. No.
Let's just put it this way. I'm not smart enough to make it work. It didn't work for me. I know some people got good use out of it.
Yeah, I use it for a few countermeasures, just sit around the back. But the problem is I wanted to use other things. So it's locked to to the flagship, so it annoys me.
Now, here's the thing. Double-edged sword. Many people are happy that the Greta Inferno Dragon is in FM tier 5.
That's why I'm hugging this one up here, mate. This is a damned if you do and damned if you don't moment, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, because I know players in my alliance who said, "Oh, what? I just grind my ass off in raid to score 40 million points in the raid to redeem for this ship."
And 1 week later, yeah. And 1 week later, it's now in the FM at 8 million points.
Yeah, it's I mean,
I'll be upfront and honest.
It's a slap on the face for the people who had to grind points in raid, maybe spend coins in raid to get this ship. Now have it in FM. On the other hand, speaking for the broader, vast majority of players who are not scoring 40 million points in a raid, because we know that's just 5,000 players, 10,000 players get you like, 40 million points in raid. That's great. So it's one of those, a bunch of people love it and a few people hate it.
Yeah, I mean, I've said to my middle and low level players in my alliances, don't worry about bounty because you're not in that arena anyway. Just do the basics for bounty. But this is your raid for the weekend. Go out and get this because they didn't get it in the raid. So this is the number one thing for them to get this weekend.
I'd say this whole week. So starting tomorrow with FM, this whole week you have a whole week to grind points and get this flagship. And you're damn right, TSM, get it.
Yeah, right? This is a gift horse. This is the only. Well, they've said this is the only week it's going to be here. So,
true. Oh, good point. It's just this 1 week, so it's a one-time only opportunity until they offer again.
Yeah, until they offer again. But if you haven't got it, I would sack bounty and I would go for this. And this is your main goal because this is a transforming hull for your FM going forward. Definitely for the next at least 2 or 3 months. So, but yeah. And you haven't even got to fit it out massively because you can drag it around behind all the other ships and just fill it up with countermeasures. So it doesn't have to be the super funky thing either. But yeah, so interesting. I thought, already the forums have blown up and so's our page and so's everywhere else and that sort of stuff about why is this in here and it's wrong and that sort of stuff. And I'm not saying whether it's right or wrong. As you've said, it's a love and hate relationship at the moment anyway with the company and having this in the FM. At the price of 8 million, they got to put it at a pretty high price, I'm sure, because obviously it really makes it a joke otherwise. But, people struggled to get the 40 million. Some people did it with ease, but some people struggled.
People struggled. People invested coin, time during their weekend to get that. So I totally understand the people who got in the raid and are pissed right now. At the same time, I bet for every pissed off player, there's probably 3-4 happy players who will get it now. So it's just, as a business, you got to be careful because if you start doing that now, next time people see something on the raid, they'll say, "Yeah, you know what? I'm going to wait until they give it away for free in FM."
Yeah, I'll wait. Yeah. So
if it's
yeah,
a one-off thing, okay. If it becomes a pattern, it's a problem.
Yeah. Well, we'll go back. I mean, so that's the Greta. Look, it's in there. It's in there for a week. For those that didn't manage to get it, missed the raid for whatever reason, or just couldn't quite get that, couldn't quite hit the 40 million, then snap it up. Absolutely, do all you can. Even if you're just hitting 111s and that sort of stuff, or you've got a couple of standard Gretas, and and you've got the old freaking Cody, then go and hit the 112s a couple of weeks. They're still there. You'll soon be able to knock this up, and get to this prize. So. Do it, take advantage of it. I mean, they've done it for a reason, obviously, because they're taking away obviously the 112 and the 117. So you are left with a very low level target, and obviously then the 120 and 121 sort of stuff. Although there is something in the medium coming, but we don't know what that is yet, and we don't even know what ships are allowed in it. So something tells me that the Savage Kodiak won't be allowed in those either. But
yeah, no, I don't. Well, they're not allowed in the 120, 121, right?
I don't think the new target it'll be allowed in there. There's something between the, that's going to replace the 112. So it'll probably be a 115 or something. I got funny feeling the Savage won't be allowed in there either, to be honest.
Yeah, it might be the end of the Savage Kodiak. I mean
their words
on targets. Right?
Yeah, their words on Rampage Report was that was an oversight. We didn't realize that you'd take advantage of utilizing that in that target. When we said the 117,
to me, it's a strategy. It's a valid strategy in a strategy game. I don't like that they're, again, always putting the fans around us to play the way they want. Like I like that we can go back and find some old crap we have and find, hey, I can use that and works well.
Yeah.
Like some people putting D75V mortars on their ships to gain speed. I mean, that kind of very old stuff.
Well, it's like, mate, if you've been playing for 15 years like you have,
Oh, I started with Battle Pirates for DOS, like in 1987, I think it was. Yeah.
I know you got a special class. So yeah. Anyway, look, going back to this thing, what do you reckon of this Poseidon's Vanguard? I mean, is that right picture? It's not, is it?
Yeah, that was the old Vanguard. The Vanguard was a tactical module carrier that had a big weight relief on the tact module. But back then there were no classes, right? But
no.
So they just reused the name and the design because it's probably cheap to do it like that. And
because that thing looks ancient. It looks absolutely ancient, doesn't it?
Yeah. they made a Conqueror flagship for the Ifrit and the Impact Cruiser. So
it's random, I have to say. I just don't get why it's in the FM. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes no sense to be in FM, especially because it becomes a gate to get the chest if there's nothing else to redeem.
Why wasn't that then on the right-hand side of the raid?
Or in the tech store.
Or in the tech store of the thing, yeah. Or wait until Bounty itself. I just don't quite get why that is.
This is the weirdest place to put a PvP flagship.
Random.
FM.
Certainly is. Right, okay, let's look forward to it. So bug fixes, balances, and some changes, okay? So bear in mind, everybody, today was the last day. So Siege target transition, so that's your base parts targets. Obviously, they've moved on now. So obviously the Scourge with the pop-up grids and all that sort of stuff, for getting base parts, that's done now. So we're now on to, obviously, what was the last raid set, which is the Legion one. So that's obviously using your Hydras and obviously your Buccaneers, or obviously, what we've got now is obviously the Proto Centurions if you've managed to get them out, and if you want to do them, obviously the SSRBs as well on the
Hydras are doing really well.
I think the Hydras are doing excellent. I must admit.
Yeah.
I'm really pleased I built my Hydra fleet now. It's
and the buckets go very well up to a point.
Yeah, but as soon I'm just going to finish off testing. Well, I'll do that TLC. I'll finish off my last my last. Proto Centurion, and then I'm going to go and do some testing, and I'll do a couple of videos. I'm off this week, so I'm going to have a little play and see what I can get those things to do. So
I'm taking vacation. I don't remember you asking for permission for that.
Yeah, I know, mate. I know.
I'm on vacation next week.
We've got a new dog in the house, got a new puppy, so I have to take some time off.
Puppy!
Yeah, exactly. Right, so anyway, that's tangents. I'm quite good at those. So corrected description for the Deadeye. Yeah, so some people wanted to complain about this, and then, so some of the crews that are out, okay, then the wording was incorrect. Now, quite rightly, some people say it's a nerf now because it says now a new one says doesn't affect the UAVs. Well, you always do that, and it doesn't affect scatterguns. But I don't think it ever affected scatterguns anyway, because
it never did. It never did.
It just never said it.
Exactly, because the crew was released before scatterguns existed in the game. So
yeah.
It was kind of coded to increase explosive and penetrative and concussive, blah, blah, blah. There was no corrosive damage in the game at the time. And the crew was hard-coded for all existing damages at the time. So when corrosive damage was inserted in the game, the crew never affected that. But it kept saying all damage types because it was true when it was released.
But also this one here, it's critical hit damage. There's no scatter that has a critical hit written into the thing anyway. So
no, but it doesn't matter because the crew was adding the crit hit capability to the weapon.
Yeah. So this is the third time this crew's been adjusted. So I went back and had a look at some of the history of it. So the first time it just said all weapons that were getting critical hits, and then it said UAVs, and now it says scatterguns and UAVs. So this is the way it's sort of like, it's moved on as the game has progressed, and they've just changed the wording. So it looks like, I saw somebody saying, right, you've changed my property and it's time to sue you and that sort of stuff, and rightly or wrongly, unfortunately, it's their property, not yours, and they're going to write what they want on the darn things. The point is, as you said, Ren, scatterguns didn't exist then when this thing came out. I think it's a 2016 or 2015 blueprint. When it was last time it was written up.
I think the crew is from 1978, and scatterguns only came out like in 2011.
All right, yeah. Was that Windows 98 too?
No, man, it was like a MSX something, 8-bit computer.
All right, okay.
And Raymaker on the chat, the YouTube chat, he's saying something that I know 110% of the community will agree, which is. And Kickstarter has promised that multiple times and never done it. Like, they have to take a good look at the crews and make them relevant again to today's game. Just
we asked that at the start.
Retire all the crews and make a whole bunch of new crews. You know what I mean?
Didn't we say that at the beginning of the year? The only crew they brought out was GDR's own one.
Yeah, the one that had his face on the crew. Yeah. And it was limited. We've never seen that one again.
Yeah, and they did promise they were. No, they didn't promise. We did ask at the start of the year when we did the end of the year show. We did ask for them to review those, and there was a consideration they might. Clearly, it hasn't happened. We're 7 months in, and yeah, nothing's really gone on. Anyway, so update display to reflect building damage boosts.
Laredo's on YouTube chat. He's sharing his secret pin to get any crew you want. So people who want to hack and get any crew, just check with Laredo right now on YouTube chat.
All right. So yeah, building damage boosts being multiplicative instead of additive. Okay, display reflect to reflect building damage boosts as being multiplicative instead of being additive. Right. Okay. Noted. Said twice. Corrected R5 Skyfire's retro. Yeah. So UAV damage was incorrect. Wasn't. It's 70%. So that's been done. Submerged targets are now behaving correctly under hardware acceleration once you got it turned on, because everything was up basically, which I quite liked in the 103 Scourge targets, because you could actually go and work out where the turrets were before you actually got to them.
You could see everything, but the targets are just gone anyway.
They're gone now, so yeah.
Yeah.
But, so anyway, but anything that's underwater now is now working as it should, apparently. I haven't been on the game today, so I don't really know. The graphic launcher rocket thingy, the rocket apparently is now back on this launch pad.
Because it was landing on the sea like those Tesla rockets.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So that's been done. And there was a game with, I think the game was crashing, wasn't it, with the D5 EV when you were equipping it to something.
I never tried. I don't see use for that.
No, I don't see the point of it, to be honest. So I haven't bothered.
Yeah, does anyone in chat, anyone please tell me? I mean, did you find a good use for this D5 EV, or is it just clutter in the game?
To me, it's clutter. Personally.
Same. You know, again, maybe I'm not smart enough, but to me, it's just clutter.
Yeah, I couldn't find a use for it, to be honest. Yeah, I didn't, and not something that wanted that much. No, there's other things that was important to me. So
yeah.
And the other one, I just thought, back to basics. Okay, there's been a couple of interesting things, and this is a classic example. You know, that's that testing thing before things go out. So the Scourge go, well, that's Greta, isn't it? Obviously, you know, and then we're talking about Legion Colony, and then we're talking about, hang on a minute. So
well, that picture confuses me on so many levels. I'm gonna go back to my picture here. Wait a second. Boom. Can you see my picture? Wrong on so many at so many levels, right?
Hang on a minute. Let's just click on you. Yes, yes.
Because the title is Legion Colony. The picture is Greta, who's the Draconian Imperator, and then you read the text. It starts saying the Scourge.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what?
So we've only got a bit missing, to be honest.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, what the hell? I don't quite get it. So is that an old wording at the bottom? Something I don't get what's going on. I'm not sure, but yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the text mentions the Scourge and the Legion, and the title's Legion, and we see Greta, and it's, you know, like bring Borbas in as well. I don't know what's going on.
You may as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Right, that's what we've got tonight, mate. That's it. Not a huge amount of slides. I think the FM update is a bit contentious, to be honest. FM update 2, actually, to be honest, for this month. Maybe not. Maybe they just thought, you know what, everyone should have got it in the raid and they didn't get it. So let's give them an opportunity to get it. You know, you've got a whole week now to get it, so you've got more time in effect. You know, compared to what the raid is. You know, and maybe they're just thinking, you know, it's what, 1.5 million points a day you're going to need to get if you want to go and get it, sort of stuff. So.
Yep, which is 1.5 million per day, which is what, 10 111s.
Yeah, 10 or 11 111s, isn't it? So if you can do that,
and a properly built retrofitted icebreaker can do like what, 10 12 111s before you got a dock.
Well, I was ordering mine. I was getting 20 on mine on the app, BP app.
So you know, probably you can get 10 111s then just with icebreakers. If you already have Inferno Dragons, then you go up and you hit whatever 117.
Yeah, I mean, I've literally I did the 117s. Sorry, not the 112s. So I was doing 112s with three of the Gretas done with a new armor on, and then just the Savage Cody sat in the corner doing nothing. And I think I managed to hit, I think it was 8 or 9 of those. I think it was, or maybe 10. I can't remember, to be honest. Before the 3 ships were dead, you know, and that was on auto, full auto. Didn't even go in and have a look. So, and what were they? 300? Are they 300k each one or something like that?
Well, cool. The 112?
112. What's it worth?
Maybe. I never hit them. I hate the 112s.
Yeah, I managed to find out they're going in at sort of 7 o'clock instead of going in, because going in at the north is horrendous. 2 or 3 of the clusters start firing at the same time, and it's looking awful. But if you're going at 7 o'clock on autos, it manages to pick off one turret set at a time, and then you don't get that combination of stuff coming in on you. It doesn't need to be.
So you enter at 7 o'clock and you go counterclockwise.
I just enter at 7 o'clock and press auto and don't do a damn thing. I watch it, but it doesn't seem to it doesn't split, and it doesn't seem to go off and get got the center channel, and then getting two lots from left and right hitting you. So it seems to.
I don't know. I was very happy with the 120 last week, having the flagship and not.
Yeah, I love the 120. I think it's a really good target.
Not having the flagship, the 117 with the Savage in the corner was pretty damn good too.
Yeah, to me, get rid of the 117 now. Get it gone.
Yeah. The other approach that I like is the cuttlefish approach.
Go on.
Oh, he puts one single Inferno Dragon on each fleet slot. He sends 4 Inferno Dragons out on the map, and I think he autos its 82.
Oh, the 82s, yeah.
Yeah, so he does like 4 82s in parallel non-stop, and he finishes his FM like that.
What's an 82?
It's a grind, but it's free and it's easy. And if you only have 3 Inferno Dragons, okay, then you do 3 82s at a time, and do from the app.
Yeah, that's a good idea actually. And I suppose you're not really going to upset too many people, because I'm just thinking low levels 82s. Actually, they're probably going to have icebreakers or monos with zealots, and they could do 111s, to be honest. So
yeah.
Anyways,
I think it's a good approach too.
Sounds like a plan to me. Right, I need to go back into the slides and take out that one error, and then I'll upload the slides for the thing. I've got nothing else, mate, unless you have.
No, we're good. Good show, I guess.
I don't know.
Thanks everyone watching. The 108 people watching, and folks in the chat. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope it was a good show.
Yeah, good. Take care. Enjoy Bounty, and we'll speak to you at the weekend. Thanks very much. Take care. Bye-bye.
Good night.